Here we go.
Hello,
Hello, hello.
how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Welcome to a Wild Tuna exclusive for everyone tuning in. I am with author Parul, and she is going to tell us about her life, what she's been through, and how she got to where she got now. She's a published author, and she's a specialist in advancing businesses and entrepreneurs. So, thank you for coming out, taking the time to do an interview with me. And I hope everybody can take something from this tonight.
Thank you, Wilde. Tuna. It's truly my honor, and thank you for having me here on your wonderful show. I just saw your videos, all the amazing work you are doing. So, congratulations and kudos to you.
Appreciate that. Appreciate it.
Mm.
So, enough about me. Let's talk about you. So, for those who don't know, let's give us a little history on, your come up and, your childhood and what got you to this point now.
Awesome. So, I grew up in India, as you can say. I have an Indian accent. I look Indian, so definitely I grew up in India. Then I've been in the United States, in Arizona, for the last almost 16, 17 years now.
Okay.
And I grew up there. I pursued my uh, bachelor's in engineering degree. Then I came to US and pursued my master's degrees in engineering because, that was the obvious natural path.
Mhm.
But working for a corporate was something that never excited me, was never like lucrative to me.
Mhm.
Essentially, getting out of the bed on a certain time and going to work and coming back. So that's not what I look at life as.
Right.
So I wanted always to be my own boss, and I ventured into the field of holistic nutrition because I personally wanted to get fit and learn more about how our body works, how our food interacts with our body. And I started my journey into holistic nutrition as an entrepreneur. And to share my message with the people, I ended up writing a book.
Right.
And when I wrote my book, it became really popular. It was a bestseller in multiple categories in many countries. And after that, people started asking me how I did what I did, because here I was, like, completely unknown,
Right.
uh, working from my kitchen counter, so to speak. And then all of a sudden, people thought I was quite, people saw what I was doing. And that gave way to my new career as a publisher and publicist and a business brand strategist.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So,
So I
so
just learned it, through my work. I wouldn't say that I went to school for it. It's just, learning on the job kind of stuff.
right, and that's what I was about to ask you for your upbringing and the way that you fell into your current situation. You learning on the go. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about maybe some hurdles that you had to jump over that most entrepreneurs may have to go through that you had to get
Right.
past.
I think initially the biggest hurdle was how to make the most efficient use of all my resources.
Hmm.
Because here I was, I was not really, when I started into this business or entrepreneurial world, of course I was not earning as much, right? It
Right.
takes time to build a career. So now the question is, if you do not put into the business, then how do you earn back? And then if you do not have the money to put into the business, then how will you grow? So it's
Right.
kind of a catch 22 kind of a situation, right? So that was a big hurdle. And second hurdle was obviously how to market myself, correct?
Hmm.
When I started, it was around 2009, 2010. Social media was there, but not as popular, I would imagine, like, as popular as it is now,
Right.
10 years down the line. But those were some of the major roadblocks I would imagine that I had initially.
Right. And when you were building your business and learning and studying and everything you had to do, did you have a team of people around you, or did you do everything mostly yourself?
Most of the time when I was starting, I was practically a solopreneur.
Mhm.
Uh, I just jumped into it, and I wanted to, get my feet wet and learn everything. But I did had people who were supportive of me. So I did a lot of, trade-offs. For example, let's say I was really good at book publishing, and that was something I had mastered, or I was really good at, creating a plan or a business plan for some people, and some other person was really good at maybe social media marketing
Right.
or
Right.
website designing. So we kind of traded.
Right.
So I wouldn't say I had a team, so to speak, when I started, but
Mm.
again, I had a lot of support.
Right. Right. And you had a nice network where you could get some things done.
Exactly, yes.
That's what it's about. So with networking and starting from the ground up and getting people to really believe in your dream and your vision, did you feel as though it was easier once you accomplished something, or do you feel like you actually had a lot of traction before you got to this point? Did everyone just see your dream as you presented it? Did they feel your energy and just knew like you was a winner, or was it a little tough for you at first?
Um, so over the years, I have, worked on different aspects, right? So I started as an engineer, then as a health coach, and into book publishing. So I would think, like, because I had so many different branches to me, people were a little bit confused, right?
Right.
What is exactly this lady doing? And it was also obviously difficult to build that trust in people,
Right.
because when I started as a health coach, and I even though I know a lot about holistic living and eating and eat, I am not like a perfect example. I still have pounds to lose. I still have, things to work on myself.
Right.
So obviously that, if somebody looks at me, they wouldn't be like, oh, this is a health coach we would want to hire, right? She has a perfect figure and everything. So I'm not like that. I'm far away from that. So obviously, it takes, uh, uh, most of the time, people judge a book by its cover, right?
Right.
so,
Right.
so, so that was difficult. But then when I wrote my first book on green juicing,
Mm.
it was called Juicing for Healthy and Families. After
Right.
that, it really, I would say, I was able to build that trust among people.
Right.
And I see my friend Nitish. Hi, Nitish. It's early morning in India, but he's
Hey,
joining us. So, hey,
shout
that's Wilde Tuna, a public figure, pretty popular, uh, having the honor of being interviewed by him.
Hey, it's an honor you're here because a lot of people are trying to be entrepreneurs. A lot of people are trying to accomplish what you're accomplishing. So, it's an honor to have you on. Definitely. So let's
Thank
talk
you.
about the eating. Let's talk about the health wave that we on. Let's talk about that. What motivated you to get into that? Do you just want to be healthy yourself and just help other people get educated on it, or how did that come about?
That's a great question. So initially, when I moved to US, I was very excited to try the American cuisine. Right? I tell people I was living the American lifestyle because I was working, and I was also finishing my master's degrees, and then I was working in the university. So a lot of work. Recently I had recently got married,
Mm.
and for that 4 p.m. and 11 a.m. slump, I would go for a coffee and donut and not eat anything healthy. And
Right.
before I knew, I was like, I don't know, maybe 50 pounds overweight or something. And so because I was already in school, I was already pursuing my master's degree. I'm like, I joined a boot camp, and then I'm like, okay, if that lady can teach me about nutrition, I can possibly learn it by myself and teach myself about
Right.
nutrition and
Right.
fitness. So I had the student mindset, and I ended up joining diploma program in health and nutrition.
Mm.
So it started as my way to learn, basically, get into the details. But
Right.
then at the same time, what happened, my father, who lives in India, he had a massive heart attack, and obviously I had to be with him. He's fine now, by God's grace, but he had this health scare.
Right.
And I realized, like, whatever I had learned in my health and personal training helped
Mm.
me more compared to whatever I had learned in my engineering degrees and career. And
Right.
that was a kind of the trigger point, and I decided, like, yes, this is what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
And I've been very some while tuna some things are inborn in you, whether you go to school or not for it. So I
Right.
would think like some things about health and nutrition and medicine were inborn in me. Like if I meet somebody, I can actually look at that person and I can tell what's wrong with that person. So it's an inner gift, right? So I'm not a doctor, I'm not a trained doctor or anything, but that's just sometimes I have that intuitive feeling, and that's most of the time right.
What's
So
wrong with me? Can you tell me? Can you tell me?
right, you have to meet me in person, right?
Find
so
out. I'm
so
getting.
anyway, so I think that was just my interest that developed actually, and
Hmm.
I thought, why not, just give wings to my interest and dive into it.
Right, right. So when people take on that journey to change their eating habits and their lifestyle, um, as you had to, to take that, do you feel like once you indulge into the cuisines, as you say, it's hard, to break that? Like, how can you break that without losing the flavor?
Right. Cold turkey? Not really. So, but yeah, I think, so scientifically it takes 3 days for your body to go from acidic to alkaline, right?
Okay.
So if you actually um, can sustain a detox or any change in your diet for 3 days, right?
Mhm.
After the third day, your body starts feeling good on its own,
Okay.
and it probably does not crave for those things, but definitely it takes about 21 days to 30 days to form a habit,
Okay. Okay.
right? So 3 days, if you could go on a detox, maybe, I don't know, maybe juice detox or smoothie detox, or raw food kind of a detox, and once your body hits that alkaline uh, the pH or whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
after that it's a little bit simpler.
Right. So with that, and then there's a list of foods. There's a list of alkaline foods that you want to keep in your diet. Correct. There's basically a step, like a group of things you can and can't eat. Right.
Yes, but I'm a busy mom, and I'm a busy business person, so I want to make things simple. I always say, like, the easiest would be, how does nature eat? How do apes eat? How do some of the, strongest animals in the kingdom eat? I mean, they go back to nature, right? They go what is provided in the nature. They go to fruits and vegetables. Even
Right.
elephants. I mean, they also eat bushes and grasses. I mean, I'm not asking people to eat bushes and grasses, but but definitely, going back to nature is the answer. So go for fruits and vegetables. We have abundance of that anyway, always. Water, coconut water, juices, smoothies.
Right.
uh, Keep it simple, because if you make it complicated, then chances are you might not be able to stick to it.
Right. Right. So
Yeah.
my biggest flaw is the dairy. I love cereal and I love ice cream, and that's I gotta get away from it. I've been working hard. So
Have you tried oat milk recently? I've
I
actually,
haven't. I heard I've seen some advertisements about it, but I
you
haven't.
know, because coming from India, like dairy is such a big part of our diet, right? I mean,
Mm,
especially because I've been like a vegetarian all my life because of
right,
my cultural background. So milk was such an important thing for us to get all that protein, like a complete protein, right? Because we don't
right,
eat not even eggs. So breaking that mindset that yes, milk might not be such a good thing, and especially that addiction with milk and that comfort food kind of a feeling,
right,
it's
right,
difficult. So it was difficult for me also. That has been the most challenging aspect. And we love our teas. Indians are known for chai, right? I mean, chai cannot be made without a milk. So I when I switched to like oat milk, I was able to easily do it. I mean, have to find your balance with it, I would
O-
think.
okay, okay. I'm gonna put that on the list. I've been seeing this. I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna test it out.
Yes, yeah, yeah. It tastes one of the best. I mean, like compared to almond milk and rice milk and all these other milks, I find it the tastiest.
Okay, okay. Oat milk.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. So let's talk about some people that inspired you. Maybe you have some people that you looked up to that maybe you saw do this, or even if you didn't, just maybe people in your life that help motivate you to stay on the right path. You got any of
I
those?
think, I find my inspiration from everybody, that I meet. Of course, there are some people who always stick with you, but honestly speaking, I mean, it's Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you are up here trying to spread your message with your viewers. You're doing a live here. So you are an inspiration also, because obviously you're not really taking the easy route. And I mean, inspiration is always everywhere for me, in all people, in all aspects of life.
Right,
Few people who really inspire me are obviously the people I work with. I mean, one of my good friends, business partners, her name is Evita Rampate. She always she has a wonderful story. She treated her cancer through juicing, and she's a wonderful entrepreneur, a businesswoman. So she's such an inspiration to me, because she always motivates me to, think outside the box and really, scale to that new heights.
right. That's all. Shout out to her. Definitely need that. Definitely that person to keep you rolling, keep you going. Um,
Absolutely.
so let's talk about some more of your accomplishments. You've done so much. So maybe give us, your that's maybe your top three things that you accomplished that you really feel like made you or set you apart from the rest of the
Oh,
people
wow.
doing it.
That's a difficult one, because I have so many, right?
I did a lot. I was like, I don't know
So,
where, I don't want to miss one, so let me do your favorites.
no, I would think so after my juicing work, most of the time, I mean, I still have my health coaching career, or if people wanted, but
Mm,
most of the time, over the last 3-4 years, I help people write, publish, and market their books.
mm,
And so far, I've helped, I would think, around 200, and by this year end, it would be around 400. So that I would think is a quite a big, I wouldn't say accomplishment, but it's really a moment of honor for me, because
right,
really, I mean, if I'm able to help all these authors and writers, aspiring writers, publish their books, and because of my engineering background, I could also master some algorithms and stuff.
right.
So one of my skills is also helping people rank their books as bestsellers on Amazon. So I mean, most of my authors, touch wood, have ranked as Amazon bestsellers.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something that I'm really grateful for, that God has given me this gift, because I'm not even not, I'm able to help all these people fulfill
Right,
their dreams of writing a book and sharing their message with the world, because that's, I would think, one of the biggest things, that God has given me. Honestly, I tell people that I'm just a conduit, and you know the
right,
right message, the right book just comes to me at the right time.
right. And that's what I feel about what I do too. I feel like everyone who's supposed to be here, supposed to get interviewed, or I'm supposed to work with, they seem to just fall in my lap. They seem to just be in the room at the right time. So that's definitely the best way to move. You can't fight the universe. Some things just supposed to happen. But
Absolutely.
I definitely need to be added to that list of published authors that you put
Absolutely. Yes.
in.
Anytime.
So for someone out here that's watching, or they'll watch this later, what's the best ways for someone to contact you and reach you and work with you? What would be the process?
Right. So my website, parulagrawal.com. So it's PARULAGRAWAL. It's kind of a tongue twister. So Parul Agrawal is my website, and
Right,
I'm also on social media by author Parul, and you have tagged it. So everywhere it's author Parul. So that's
right,
kind of easy for people to remember.
right, right. That's awesome. So your mom and balancing your business and working with parenting, and I know because I'm a father, is probably one of the hardest things to do, right? So for the entrepreneurs coming up and the people working and just following their careers coming up, how do you best balance work and being a parent? Do you have like a set time limit, or do you just go with the flow? Give us some insight.
That's a great question. And I would think that I'm very disciplined in what
Mm,
I do. It has to be, I mean, we have to be disciplined. So when I'm working, I am working, even if it is for 1 hour. Sometimes, honestly speaking, like a couple of weeks back, I have a nanny and she comes, a couple of hours every day. So when I can, because my daughter is only 3. So my son is 9.5. He doesn't need that much of attention. But of course, a 3-year-old needs full attention, right?
right,
So, uh, she comes, but she has not been coming. She was not able to come when we had this major lockdown, and for the last few weeks also, she had some issues in the family.
mm,
So during those days, I am a little bit lenient because obviously kids come first. But
right,
what I have realized is if you are focused and if you are disciplined, then you can achieve a lot, just like that Tim Ferriss's book, 4 Hour Week, actually. So you can achieve a lot in that 4 hour work week also compared to working for 8 to 10 hours every day.
right,
All you need is that focus, discipline, and now I have a team. Now I have people, like, I could delegate work to. So having a very good network of people that you work with, a great team, and
right.
being disciplined, and writing down everything. Like initially, everything I would keep in my brain, like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that. But now I realize, like, if I write everything, what I have to do the next day on the previous night, things just flow, because I'm not like struggling thinking, hey, what I need to do next. I just check off. So
This,
having that discipline, and when I'm working, my kids know about it. Like right now they are inside doing something. I told
right,
them that I have an interview, I cannot talk. And
right.
once you maintain those boundaries right from the, it's easy for everybody to respect those boundaries. And for yourself also, I mean, if I'm working, I don't chit chat with my friends or on Facebook or Instagram and stuff like that, until and unless it's a business thing,
Right.
because those are my working hours. And I cannot afford to waste while chatting with people, because there's so many distractions these days.
That's facts. That's very true. That's very true. So listen, I'm not going to take too much of your time up. I'm definitely going to have you on the next season because there's so much more we want to talk about. But I'm gonna let you get back to work, being a good mom, getting back to life.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you coming out, giving us the time to interview you. We'll definitely be in contact again because I need to get my book out.
Absolutely. And speaking of book, I'm coming out with this book, which is called the Growth Hacking Book #2. And it's a collaborative book with some of the top 100 influencers, marketers, who are sharing their best tips on scaling their business and life in this new decade. So the Growth Hacking Book 2 is the title, and you can get it as a pre-order from Amazon. And I'm sure most of our readers or listeners here will find something useful for themselves, and especially the entrepreneurial world.
That's facts. I'm gonna get it now, actually. So
Thank you.
that's
You can find it on Amazon by my name.
a bet. That's a bet. Well, once again, I appreciate you, Parul. You've been a great
Thank
friend,
you.
and we're gonna be in touch. Definitely gonna be in touch. And for everyone that's listening, everybody that's tuned in, make sure y'all get in contact with her if she could do anything for you. She seems like the best person you can get doing it. You know what I'm saying? The
Oh, thank you.
resume.
Absolutely.
That's why I was looking at the resume. I was like, where do I start? Like, wow.
All
Well,
right, well, Tuna, you have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much,
thank you.
and stay safe there. It's crazy
Oh,
out
I will.
these
I
days.
will.
Yes.
I'm staying in the
Okay.
house.
I know. Lock yourself up, but hopefully everything will be fine sooner than later. Yes.
Indeed, indeed. Have a good
Right.
night. Appreciate you.
Good night. Yes.
Well, there you go. Another Wild Tuna exclusive. Make sure y'all follow Author Parul. Get in contact, get in touch, check out her work, and see what she did for the people. It's another exclusive. Everybody that tuned in, I appreciate y'all. Love the comments, love the love that's going on out there. Make sure y'all go and hit the link in my bio. I just dropped my website, freshelite.pro, for everybody out here trying to do some entrepreneurs working, artists working, producers, writers, whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? You need help growing, we gonna build. And make sure y'all check radio pushers out. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing. Radio pushers and Results in No Hype magazine. That's our direct sponsors. You know, I got the Drippy Fish on. So shout out to drippyfish.com. Everybody tuned in. I appreciate y'all. Stay safe. Stay blessed.